How's it going, everyone? Welcome back for another video. I'm gonna make some tonkatsu curry today. I figure that's gonna be my dinner for tonight. This meal is gonna be composed of two parts. One, the curry itself. I've got a few ingredients to go along into the curry. And then the tonkatsu. Ton meaning pork. Katsu just meaning cutlet. And that's basically what it is. It's a pork cutlet. I've got some thinly sliced pork, just using a leaner cut. You want to use loin, tenderloin. That's basically what a cutlet is. Probably about a 1/3 inch cut, if I had to guess. The thickness of the cut, if you can see there, is going to be anywhere between 1/4 and 1/3 of an inch. You can use a thicker cut. You can use something like a pork chop, boneless chop. I think that works just as well. But this is my choice of meat for today. Gonna be pork, a bit of a leaner cut here. And that's just gonna be floured, breaded. I've got some eggs off to the side. Use that as the egg wash. And then batter it with the panko flakes and deep fry. That's the cutlet. Let's go back to the curry for a moment here. It's a pretty simple one. And Japanese curry is a little different. It's gonna come in this package. The Japanese curry roux. But as far as curry is concerned, you know, this is consumed everywhere in Japan. You go to a restaurant, they're likely to have curry in some shape, form, shape, or another. This is my favorite brand. This is the S&B brand, Golden Curry. I've seen this on Amazon, fairly reasonably priced. Something like this costs like $4. Makes a whole pot. Alternatively, there are other brands out there. There's this one. There's the Vermont brand, I think. There's a bunch of these different curries, but it's basically the same thing. It's going to come in a small box like this. It's going to look like a chocolate bar. But this is what you want to use. There's some different spice levels. This one's kind of spicy, but the spice is very mellow. You kind of won't notice it. But I've just got the hot curry. This is what I'm going to use. Instructions for this curry is on the box. And we're just going to follow the instructions because that's exactly what works extremely well. I'm basically just going to take this, dissolve this dehydrated curry into the pot. Chop up some vegetables. I've just got some basics here. Onion, carrot, potato. Can't go wrong with this combination. I'm gonna make this without meat. Another recipe that's very easy to do. You just get some chuck beef, some stew beef. Throw that into the pot along with these ingredients and this curry, and you're pretty much golden. As it says on the package, you get that nice beef curry that they have right there in the packaging. But since I'm making tonkatsu curry, the curry we'll be making tonight is going to be more of the sauce that's going to go over this these cutlets that I'm going to make. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do the curry first, fry up those cutlets afterwards, and we'll do both. So, all right, going to get started on that curry. First ingredient, gonna be the onion. I've chopped up 2 small onions. I'm just gonna get it all into the pot, let it caramelize a bit, and we'll come back once these onions have started to cook down just a little bit. The next step. All right, next step. I sweated down my onions just a little bit, add a little bit of water just to make sure they don't burn. Now you can make this a more hearty meal by just adding bigger pieces of carrot and potato, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch pieces, big pieces, however you like it. I've diced it up pretty fine, just got a few. I'm just going to throw them all into the pot here. Alright, went ahead and I added some water to the pot. I think about 4 cups, a little less than what's on the packaging. I recommend doing it this way. You can always add more water later on if you find out that the curry is a little bit too watery. But this should make it nice and thick. I'm going to go ahead and let this simmer. I'm going to cook our vegetables through. Throw in the curry mix, and that's pretty much done. What I would do is I would break this up into multiple pieces before throwing it in and just make it a little easier to dissolve into the pot itself. If you follow the instructions on the box itself, you really can't screw this up. This is like one of the easiest things to make. If you want to make the curry a little faster, you're going to want to just chop this up into pieces, but I'm going to simmer it for a while anyway since I've got to go ahead and make the cutlet. So into the pot goes about 8 of these cubes. Here's 4 of them. Alright, 5 minutes later, the curry is dissolved. Now if you throw in the pieces big like I did, you're going to have to keep on stirring, make sure that curry breaks up. Make sure those blocks of curry break up into the sauce itself. that's pretty much done. I'm gonna put this off to the back burner, put on a simmer, and go ahead and get started on my cutlets. Let's go ahead and get started on the fryer. Just got some vegetable oil I'm gonna use, put about 2 cups in there. This isn't the ideal frying situation, but sometimes you just gotta make do with what you got. This is what I got, so there we go. I'm gonna fry it up in this old pan that I've got. This one's kind of beat up. And I use this just to fry things in nowadays. So let's go on to the breading portion. As my oil comes up to heat, I went ahead and set up a dredging station. Just some regular plain all-purpose white flour. No need to season it. Maybe throw a little pepper in there if you want to. But the curry's already got enough salt in it, so no need to season your flour here. Got some Panko flake. This is the Japanese breadcrumb. But I'm just going to go ahead and use the fine one. I prefer this texture over the coarse one. The coarse one just gets a little messy. Kind of messes up your oil. You got to clean it. You got to take out all the old little flakes. But it's personal preference. And I've got a little egg wash. I think that's about 3 or 4 eggs. I'm gonna add more as I need, but eggs are pretty pricey these days, so we'll just start with 3 eggs. And then on to the breading part. This part's really simple. Take one of the pieces of meat, the cutlet. You dredge in the flour both sides. Shake off any excess. Put into the egg wash. And then into the panko. Coat it on both sides. Shake off the excess again. That's it. It's ready to fry. I think my pan will fit about 4 pieces, so that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to do this for 4 pieces here. Oil should be up to temperature. I got a really small piece. I'm just going to throw this in, see how it goes, and that's just what you want. You want it to be bubbling. You don't want it to be popping. That's about the right temperature. So let's go ahead and throw our meat in. You don't want to crowd your pan. Same thing, same rules apply if you're going to fry anything. You don't want to drop the temperature of the oil too quickly. So let's go ahead. I'll probably throw in the biggest pieces first. Let the oil come back up to temperature, and then just continue to get the pieces. You want to monitor the temperature of the oil. Make sure everything fries. But it's going to be done pretty quickly. It's only going to take about 4 minutes for each piece. Got it all in there. Everything looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fry up all the pieces. I've got a tray here with a rack just to drain off some excess grease. This will do. You're going to want to fry it until it's about golden brown. This is pretty much done, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this onto the pan, the tray, let it drain the oil. Since I'm using such a shallow pan, I add a little bit more oil. I try to skim off as much of this white stuff, all the foamy part as it comes up. And this is the finished product. It's looking pretty good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up what I got and then clean up and plate it up. Just about done here. Had just enough panko to finish this up. I'd keep an extra bag around just in case you run out. You don't want to run out of the flour. You don't want to run out of your batter during the process, but I used up pretty much most of my ingredients here. Pretty much done cooking. That's the last piece frying up there in the pan. And then I've got all of the tonkatsu here. And my curry's ready to go. Looks delicious. Final product, there's your pork cutlet. But I want to point out there's 2 other ways you can do this dish. One is to eat it with the traditional tonkatsu sauce. This is my favorite brand, Kagome. This might be hard to find. Maybe you'll find it at an Asian grocer. But this is the traditional dish, tonkatsu, the sauce, and the rice. Another way locally, we eat it locally, is to just have some brown gravy. Put some brown gravy over this. You're good to go as well. So two other different ways. One with the katsu sauce, and then one with just some brown gravy. Maybe put some onions in there too. But that's pretty much it. There's my curry and rice. I might put a little bit more curry over the top of the katsu there. Finished dish. Got a little bit of Japanese pickled radish here on the side. This is optional, but this is the authentic experience right here. So, time to eat. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching.